Hey, are you thinking about selling your home in Cincinnati, Ohio? Right now, I'm recording this video in April of 2022, and yes, the real estate market is still on fire, as it has been for a couple years now. It's been a market favoring the sellers, but just because it's a seller's market, that does not mean that you don't have to take the important steps to preparing your home to be listed for sale. After all, you do want the best terms and the best possible price for your home, right?
Hell yes!
So in this video, I'm going to be going over exactly how to prepare your home to sell in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on? It's Victor Fam, realtor here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Helping people sell and buy real estate is my passion. I love what I do. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any real estate needs here in Cincinnati. I'd love to hear from you. All my contact information is in the description. Okay, how to prepare your home to sell in Cincy. There's a lot of different steps to getting your house ready to sell, but I'm gonna break it down into 5 major components. So keep these in mind as you're getting ready to list your home on the market.
I'm listening.
Number 1, decide your price. Now, if you chose a good realtor to help you, then they should be able to help you determine the fair market value of your home pretty easily. And if you're wondering, no, we can't solely rely on Zillow to tell us our home value. There's a lot more that goes into it than that, like finding the right comparables and doing a good competitive market analysis on the house. These are all things that a good realtor should be able to do for you. So picking your realtor is important. I talked a lot about that in the previous video I made called the top 7 tips to selling your house in Cincinnati. Click that link up here if you want to find out more about that. But make sure you price the house correctly, because you don't want to underprice it and sell yourself short, and you don't want to be overly aggressive and overprice it and turn potentially good buyers off. Because trust me, a smart buyer and a smart realtor representing the buyer is going to know if the house is overpriced. I've seen it a lot, even in the seller's market.
Nice try.
So make sure it's priced accordingly and you will get the best offers. Number 2, decluttering the house. So before you have people in the house for showings, one of the best practices is to remove as much clutter as possible from the main living areas. These are areas like the living room, bedroom, and any finished basements and kitchen. You want to show as much open space as you possibly can to your potential buyers. The reason is because the buyer already has a mental picture in their head of what they want the inside of the house to look like once they move all of their stuff in. So you want to allow their imagination to run wild as soon as they walk in the house. If there's a lot of stuff in the way and they're trying to walk around it, or they feel cramped or congested while touring the home, you may get negative feedback. So limiting the amount of clutter in the house is super important to getting the best feedback from the buyers. Number 3, making repairs. Now, the amount of repairs you should make is going to depend particularly on your goals and the condition of the house itself. If you're selling a fixer-upper or an investment property, a lot of times you'll be listing them as is. If you have a more traditional and well-maintained home and you're looking for the highest price possible, you may want to consider some minor repairs if they're needed. The traditional buyer is going to want to move into the house as soon as possible and not have to fix anything at all. So make sure there are no visibly obvious defects to the home prior to the showings. Stuff like chipped up paint, or maybe a crack in the drywall, or any water intrusion or visible water damage. We have found with a lot of our sellers that most of this stuff can be remedied for fairly cheap. Plus, if you need the hookup, I know some pretty good local contractors here in Cincinnati.
I can fix it.
If you want to get top dollar for your house, don't give the buyer any red flags during the walkthrough. Make sure the house is as close to possible to being move-in ready. That way the buyer doesn't have to repair anything major once they move in. Hey, if you made it this far, that means you appreciate the content. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated on all the latest videos about real estate here in Cincinnati. Also, hit the like button and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. Number 4 is staging. Now, the amount of staging that you do will be determined on the house that you're selling and what your goals are with it. Typically, heavy staging is done with full remodels, as it gives the buyers a sense of what they can actually fit into the house and what the house looks like with furniture in it. Statistically speaking, over many years, houses do sell much faster when they are staged. But in this market, buyers don't seem to care as much as they did in the more balanced market. The empty houses are selling just as fast. If you're already living in the house, and that's a perfect opportunity to use what you have to stage the home. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the decluttering step we just discussed. The presentation of the home sets a big first impression to the buyers. Discuss the level of staging you think is necessary for the home with your realtor. This way you get the best feedback and the best possible offers. Number 5, marketing your home. How your realtor markets the home will have a big impact on the level of exposure the house gets and the quality of the buyer that will be attracted to it. A yard sign and then throwing it on the internet is the bare minimum of a decent realtor. A great realtor is going to have access to that, plus a professional photographer or maybe even a videographer. I'm very big on video in 2022 because it's almost become a necessity here in the current age we're in. Video content can increase the exposure of your home by 200 to 400% simply because people just love videos. So my clients always have that option to up their games to the most effective and up-to-date marketing strategies as possible. Don't sell yourself short on the marketing aspect and make sure your realtor has the best possible options to give you maximum exposure. All right, I hope this helped in giving you an understanding on some of the best practices to preparing your home to sell in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can always reach out to me if you need help selling or buying any real estate in the Cincinnati area. Give me a call or shoot me a text. I'm always open to a conversation. And remember, when it comes to houses in Cincinnati, you can always call Vic.